When most people hear that the world will be on average 2 degrees Celsius warmer, they may think, well, it's just 2 degrees. What kind of a difference could that make? What the scientists have taught us is that in a 2 degrees Celsius warmer world, the Earth will have fundamentally changed. The way that the Earth processes water will have changed, and so we'll have droughts that will be devastating. We'll have floods that will put cities in danger. And there will be fundamental issues around the ability of poor people to sustain themselves. The thing I worry most about is a 2 degrees Celsius world, which could be upon us as early as the 2030s and 2040s, will prevent us from lifting people out of poverty. And our goal of ending poverty by 2030 will be out of reach. Decades of achievements in development will be wiped out if we let the Earth warm to 2 degrees Celsius. I'm very concerned about the impact of a 2 degrees Celsius warmer world on Africa. You know, by the 2030s, we could see a situation where extreme heat and drought could leave 40% of the land that's currently used in growing maize incapable of growing maize. Furthermore, the extreme heat is going to destroy the savanna grasslands that are supporting pastoral livelihoods. If we are to have any hope of ending poverty, we have to make progress in Africa. If we don't do something about climate change mitigation, we are going to have a very difficult time ending poverty in the world and ending poverty in Africa. In South Asia, shifting rain patterns can leave some cities underwater and others without enough water for power generation, agriculture, and even for drinking. You know, the extreme flooding that affected Pakistan in 2010, that affected 20 million people, could become commonplace. Shifting rain patterns with drought and flooding in India could once again put millions and millions of people at risk for famine. You know, South Asia is the cornerstone of our effort at ending poverty. If we don't take action now, we'll never reach our goal, and the impact in South Asia will be devastating. In Southeast Asia, we're very worried that rural livelihoods will be threatened as sea levels rise, tropical cyclones increase in intensity, and marine ecosystems are lost. You know, we think that cities, Bangkok, Ho Chi Minh City, Jakarta, and Manila will be especially threatened by the rising sea levels. There are some estimates that the fisheries, for example, around the Philippines could be reduced by as much as 50%. With the loss of the coral reefs, tourism will go down. In Southeast Asia, the impact of climate change will be severe and it will be felt throughout the Southeast Asian economy. We have to take action now to mitigate climate change. You know, in this report, we wanted to make clear that a 2 degrees Celsius warmer world would be a disaster that we have to avoid. The good news is there are things we can do right now. Two things that will require a lot of political will and collaboration among nations is, one, a stable price on carbon, and two, the removal of fuel subsidies. We need to do it. It will be difficult, require political will, but it must be done. Three things that we are working on at the bank are, one, sustainable energy for all. We think that we can provide funding and technical expertise so that every country in the world can have the energy they need to grow, but grow in a sustainable fashion. A second area that we're working intensively on is clean cities. There's been so much progress made in cities as varied as New York and Delhi and Rio de Janeiro. We know that progress can be made. We think every country in the world can build cleaner cities. And finally, one area that I'm very excited about is climate-smart agriculture. This is a way for us to put more carbon back into the ground while at the same time providing food security for poor countries and poor people everywhere in a way that we haven't been able to do before. We'll need to get better at climate-smart agriculture because the conditions are going to get tougher with the droughts and the flooding. But we know we can do it. We've got to start right now.